So good afternoon. This is Eric LeClaire over at Push Press, and we are continuing our In the Trenches leadership discussion. And I am absolutely thrilled and privileged to have Dani on with me today. Dani and I had a chance to connect through our EventX pipeline, and she is a trooper, and I thoroughly enjoy our relationship. And I'd love for her to introduce herself for those of you guys that don't know her. Dani, feel free. Go ahead.
Thank you, Eric. I'm really excited to be here. My name's
Awesome.
Dani Hoddinott, and I am the general manager and head coach at Harbor City Community Fitness, and that's in Melbourne, Florida. We are a pretty large facility. Our space, we've got, about, I believe, 10,000 square feet, about 100 members, and we've been around since 2007, so going over 13 years now, which is awesome.
Outstanding.
So, yes.
There aren't many affiliates around that have been through the 2007 window. Here we are 13 years later. So you're partnered with Mike, is that correct?
Yes, yep. Mike Manning. Mm-hmm.
Mike Manning. Talk to me a little bit about the staff. You guys have employees? Do you have personal trainers? What's the staff look like?
So we are a Mad Lab gym, which basically means that everybody sort of works together and gets their sort of own tribe of clients, if you will. So right now it's Mike and myself. We have, I believe, 2 or 3 just part-time coaches that fill in for classes here and there. And then there's 4 of us who have kind of our own tribe of clients. And then, so I look after my certain people. Coach Jen looks after hers. Caitlin looks after hers. Mike looks after his. That way everybody kind of gets a touch point with a coach, like nonstop, or their go-to for really whatever they would need. And then we make sure that we're always on top of them in terms of, have you been to the gym? How's things going in life? Hey, do you want to, let's get a personal training session in and make sure that we kind of fix up that thing we saw the other day. But yeah, so I'd say for the most part, it's 4 of us that are mostly hands-on in terms of our clients. And yeah, no, it's a good system, and my coaches are awesome, especially right now. Like they're coming in hot to like help whatever way we need them. So I'm excited for them and for us to be together no matter what,
I dig it. I love hearing the organizational structure that Mad Lab presents for affiliate owners. By the way, feel free. This is no shame. I mean, feel free. Shameless plugs all you want. We've asked a bunch of affiliate owners, do they belong to mentorship groups? And we have a lot of people that have really solid foundations. And that obviously, here we are, 13 years later, the gym has been around. I mean, so there are principles at play that allow the gym to thrive. There's an organizational structure there that's set up to allow the coaches to thrive. From a leadership standpoint, then, let me ask, either you personally or maybe you collectively as the gym, do you want to speak towards any personal values that you hold dear to you, or any maybe the company values that the company holds dear to them? Any topics of discussion there that you want to share?
I mean, I just think from start to finish, like during regular times and during now, the biggest thing for us has always been focusing on the relationship, relationship with our clients, because people will quit gyms, people will quit a lot of things in life, but the hardest thing to quit is a relationship, right? And if there's that trust built from coach to owner to coach, client to owner, if all of that trust is kind of built through a relationship, then you can see more of a long-term path for everything to come. And I think that that's been the best thing for us, like overall, is knowing that the relationship should be the starting point. I mean, yeah, how else would I describe something like this,
No, I think it's a tremendous value there that you place such a high purchase or a high touch point on the relationship. The human to human piece is the value, right? So we're not commoditizing and just simply selling exercise. We're developing relationships, right?
That's exactly it. We don't want to be a commodity. We try to stray away from that. We want to be, more of an all around, like your life coach, coach for life is actually what we call it. So each of our clients, we're their coach for life. They each get their own coach for life, because we want to look at it. I mean, and it sounds a little aggressive, if you will, coach forever, but like in the grand scheme, it's meant to be more like, no, I want to work hand in hand with your, you know, your doctors and your whoever you need us to make sure that all around you're getting everything that you need in life, you know. So we try and build the relationships with them, the relationships with also all the other practices kind of around us, so that we know what's going on or how to help if we need to, you know.
I dig it. I totally dig it. I really wish there were more affiliates that were open to that model. It seems to be very successful for the Mad Lab gyms that have stood the test of time. I mean, there's a ton that have lived over a decade. It's spectacular. The next segment that we move to in the interview is more about we recognize where we are today, both as individuals, as gym owners, general managers, coaches, caring for our clients. So we kind of look at it before, a during, and an after. In the before phase, or I guess I should say, who is responsible for the development of your coaching staff? Is it you or is it Mike?
It's me.
It's you. Okay. So what kind of either principles or guiding lights have you challenged your coaches with to prepare them for something like this? Do you guys have continuing education? Do you guys have certifications per month and like counseling sessions? Talk me through like your coach development at your facility.
Absolutely. So a lot of this is driven through Mad Lab in how we do this. And they are part of what we call the Junior Apprentice Program. And that is given and delivered through Mad Lab, but also through their sort of mentor in-house, which would be me. So basically they have weekly meetings and they have tasks and targets that they're supposed to hit. And a lot of it are not necessarily hurdles, but things that are out of their comfort zone that they have not done yet. But in order to graduate to the next step, they have to do them, right? So then they meet back home with me, and then we go over, you know, how I did it, how, you know, suggestions on how they can do it. And I kind of work with them hand in hand to make sure that they are successful in their endeavors. So it basically goes from Junior Apprentice 1 to Junior Apprentice 2, then Senior Apprentice 1, Senior Apprentice 2. And there's lots of different workings around each of the levels, but it is like a full education program. It's very hands-on.
There's a big sales portion to that. Also, they learn and understand that.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And in order to graduate through those levels, they've got to hit and maintain sales, correct?
Yes, there's definitely sales components to it. Mm-hmm. Okay. And kind of like bringing in their own clients. We also give them clients. We kind of do like a round robin sort of thing if we have house leads, but you know, they need to bring in a certain amount of their own, meaning like reaching out to their friends and family or businesses around, or going and just introducing yourself to people. You know, there's kind of different levels for each of those aspects, if you will.
Okay.
But it's been good because like they've learned a lot, and you can see through the whole process, like how they got from A to B, and looking back on A, you're like, wow, look where you've come, like since that point, you know? So it's really cool to watch like a human that was once a client or just a person outside of the gym develop within it and kind of find their own space.
I love it. I love hearing that you've poured this amount of dedication and education into developing these competent junior leaders, right? Because at one day, maybe you're gonna, I mean, would it be fair to say maybe you will step out of some of the senior roles over time and they will start to take more of an ownership piece? Is that the idea?
Yeah, that's definitely the idea. And I think that's sort of where I'm at in my path too, is like, you know, what do I foresee myself doing in 3 years with the business, right? Or 5 years. It's kind of thinking about the long-term goal and deciding which pieces I think would fit really well for each of them as I sort of step out of them and they step in, so that I can step into the bigger, larger aspect things, if you will.
Awesome.
But I love coaching. I love our clients. Like we have such a great client base, and I don't ever really see myself fully stepping away from the coaching part.
Awesome.
You know, I like to have my toes dipped in like a little bit of everything.
Sure. So now in Florida, you had like a week or two to observe the rest of the country. And so you were obviously communicating with your clients and communicating with your staff. Hey, there might be a potential for us to have to shut down or pivot to a different type of offering, a different type of service. So what were you and the staff doing to kind of prepare for, I guess, what was inevitable?
A lot. We did a lot. I mean, So first it kind of started as a discussion, and then, you know, I think all of us in the back of our heads were like, no, that won't really happen, right? Or at least hoping that maybe it wasn't true.
Right.
But as we watched it happen elsewhere, then it kind of turned in, it went from like, I don't know, we'll see, and changed over into like go mode, right? Like, let's figure out what we would do, how we would do it, and make sure that we're able to deliver it as soon as possible so that we don't skip a beat. And I think we did a really, really awesome job at that. Like, I have to say, I'm proud of like our coaches. I'm proud of myself. Like, we seem to have worked really well under the stress of it all. But basically it was like looking at the main components of everything that we do day to day, and then deciding how we could, if we could, you know, or in what way to deliver those things to our clients so that nothing else changes other than having a physical location. But one of the main things that we've told everybody is, right, like we don't sell classes. We don't, you know, like we don't even offer like, oh, a 3-time a week or a 2-time a week membership, because we sell coaching and you don't need a physical location for that. You know what I mean? So like, and
That's a huge thing to have communicated to the clients before this, so that they don't think you're like all of a sudden switching on them.
Yeah. So we, you know, there came like the initial email to all of our clients, like, hey, if this happens, here's what we're planning. Here's what it will look like for you. And nothing other than a physical location will change. Like, we still have your backs. We're still your coach for life. We're still doing all the things that, you know, we possibly can to make sure that you guys are going to stay healthy, stay fit, stay whatever this is for you while we cannot meet in a spot. So that was kind of like the first part of it. And then it was like, okay, figure out what we're going to do with programming, who's going to do what, how we're going to sort of divide it up. But since we already have like our tribes, it's been like sort of a seamless rollover. Like, I'm still in charge of my clients, right? And they're still in charge of theirs. So we have those clients, and it just kind of switched from like, you know, okay, I know I see them each week. If I don't, I'll make sure that I get in touch with them, or, you know, maybe sometimes we have personal training sessions. But, and then it just kind of changed to an online platform. But I have to say, it went a lot smoother than, not that I thought it would. I didn't think it wouldn't go smooth, but I think that we just did a really, really good job at that transition point, you know? Does that make sense?
Would you say that the communication to the clients early on was helpful?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people were like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, that's not going to happen. You're not going to close down. But we wound up closing the gym before we were even told to, because honestly, like the real factor for me in that decision was like, we love these people. Like, they've, you know, 2007, they're our family. Like, and if anything were to happen to any one of them because we waited too long to make a decision, I don't know that I could ever forgive myself for that. I mean, it's hard.
Universally agreed across the coaching staff, like you and Mike and the coaches were like, we all agree this is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's a tremendous show of care, understanding, of course, and also before mandated is a huge step, because you didn't wait to be told, you took action ahead of time.
It happened like a day or two after that they closed down gyms in Florida, but we were like, all right, we're ahead of it, you know? And even our clients, when we posted and called and texted and did all that stuff, they're like, you're making the right decision. Like, they backed us up, and we're like, okay, good. All right, now I don't have to worry about that, you know? So I think a lot of them sort of appreciated the fact that we had that foresight, you know, and had their health in our minds, you know?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's huge for them to number one, understand and recognize that importance, and also support the gym, you know, and the decision of the gym to say, hey, look, we're just going to be done. I can't tell you how many coaches we've spoken to that they're not getting traction with their clientele. They're not delivering the message or the why, and they're losing, right? I mean, they are losing clients. Yeah. Have you sat down with the coaching staff and had a discussion about because the before, the during, the after, none of us know if this is going to go April, May, June, July, August, and so on. How are you communicating? Maybe just you and Mike, or maybe you and Mike and the staff. Have you guys talked about what this looks like in 30 more days, as far as maybe offerings to the clients, any adjustments to the calendar and the schedule, any additional social services, obviously digital, but social, above and beyond fitness? Have you guys had any discussions yet about that?
Yes, loosely. Like there's nothing set in place right now that we're like, this is exactly what's going to happen in 90 days.
Sure.
But, you know, we have ideas and like our coaches are really smart and they have a lot of great ideas too. So sort of the meeting
Good.
of the minds. I talk with our coaches every day and I talk with Mike every day. And then when need be, we all talk together. I would say at least once a week, we all talk together, but, basically, I guess first and foremost, we're sort of playing the waiting game right now because that's really all that you can do.
Sure.
But we have a lot of really great ideas. I don't know so much outside of fitness, but things that we can do with our clients if this really does keep up. Because at some point, like, and this goes for all gyms, at some point, people are going to be sick of the Zoom classes. People are going to be sick of the, you know, whatever it is that any gym is offering. It's going to get to a point where it's like, all right, because we do, right? We charge a higher price point and we deliver a higher level of service, but when it turns into
reduce down.
Yeah, like, you know, 5 months of beach body type workouts on, you know, through a camera, it's, you know, people are going to start to weigh their options. And especially as they start to lose their jobs or see what their financials look like going forward, it's going to be very hard. So I think, like long term, we just have to keep that in mind and like over deliver nonstop. Find new ways to keep them engaged, find new things to offer them, even if at a distance. But I honestly, we lean a lot on like all of the different companies that we utilize. So like Push Press, like they have been like leading the charge in figuring things out. I have to say, I was absolutely blown away. I've said this to my coaches. I've said it to my boyfriend, people outside. Like, your company has done so much in terms of delivering information to us before we even know that we needed it. And that was like
awesome.
It's been really, really valuable. And then like for like up launch, our what we use WOD sites, like they all have a plan, right, for how to sell, how to deliver, how to you know, what kind of communication to give to new people if you want to take on new people for remote coaching, right? And then Level Method, you're a Level Method, right? Okay. Like the Resilience Challenge, all of the social media assets, like just the things like
just the social media asset page alone has been brilliant.
It's unbelievable because like when, you know, you see this all kind of unfolding and you're like, okay, what am I going to do here? And you're trying to come together with things and then boom, all these like crazy ideas just pop right in front of your face, done for you. And you're like, oh my gosh. So we've taken all of those ideas and we've tweaked them to make them our own, which I think has been really, really valuable.
Excellent. Man, well, but you do have your toe in all of the right buckets, if you will. We do recognize that there are some affiliate owners out there, and not necessarily even just in the affiliate landscape, let's just say the micro gym landscape, that are struggling. They're operating from a place of fear. They're operating from a scarcity mindset or like a doomsday scenario mindset, and they're stuck. If you had a chance, and this is your soapbox opportunity, is there a message or a statement that you would feel comfortable sharing with them to maybe help move them forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day that this is in every single gym owner's lap to decide what to do, how to handle it, and how to move forward no matter what is coming. And I can tell you right now, Mike and I are not quitters, and it's hard. Like, I think we all know that this is hard, but there's no way that we're going to give up without like a solid fight. Like we're just fighters, you know what I mean? Like it's been 13 years and this, if other things haven't taken us down, this has nothing on us, you know what I mean? We're very innovative. So I think that whatever is in your head is definitely going to drive your actions and your thoughts. And I think that that's a huge part of sort of tackling this is like the second that you panic or you tell yourself like, oh my God, we're losing, or oh my God, we're going under, right? Like that's when it's actually going to wind up fulfilling itself because you've already sort of given up on it. And I think like have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, talk to a friend who might have a plan, or get in touch with people like you who like have all these brilliant things going on around you to help gyms. I don't think that we would be in as great of a place as we are right now without the help of our mentors and all of the sort of different organizations that we've associated ourselves with. And I think that that's been really right now more than ever. We're like, oh, like we're so smart. Like so glad we brought them on board because like oh my goodness, look how much easier this is getting, you know? But
Right
I think
on.
mindset is everything. And we're not giving up. Like,
Outstanding. Outstanding. It's so refreshing to hear that fighter spirit, that not quitter spirit,
I
that
love
not.
working under pressure. Yeah.
I dig it. Awesome. Well, Dani, thank you so much